Hey, this is going to be a little bit different of a video than you're used to. So if you're kind of just like, I don't know, it's talking about the channel, right? So if you're showing up for like, oh, I just want to watch a Total War thing, then probably skip this one, just being honest. But like, this is just talking about the channel in general. I expressed some concerns about it, I think, on a live stream previously, but I like don't know what to do with the channel at the moment. I really don't, because I'm just getting too frustrated. Like, of these 30 videos, a lot of them are scheduled. Cool. We scheduled out till I have 2 videos a day till April 2nd, so there's lots of content. But of these 30 videos, I counted 18 have something to do with a bug, which isn't great. I mean, like, yeah, we cover a lot of bugs recently, but Warhammer 3 is in a really bad state. Like, really bad. I brought up a bunch of charts, but I actually wonder, Warhammer 3 reviews. I didn't actually check this before the video. Metacritic and PC Gamer, of course, are sucking its dick, but like, Steam. What is it on Steam? Is it mixed? Yeah, it's mixed. Which is real bad. Like, mixed on Steam is not actually mixed. It's, you know, terrible. And I've been seeing why. I've been playing a lot more, because at the start I said, I even had a video somewhere that said, like, should you get Warhammer 3 right now? And I said, like, if you're having fun with Warhammer 2, I wouldn't get it now. And if you had literally nothing else to do, yeah, you should come play the campaign. The campaign's fun. Well, the problem is that I made that I hadn't finished a campaign yet. And I did enjoy the campaign. I did. I really did. Once. I enjoyed the campaign once. The other times through, it can get a little grindy. The improvements to settlement battles is good. And all that stuff, but there's just so many bugs. The campaign itself, of the 7 factions, they all feel very, very similar, and I honestly only enjoy playing Kislev and Cathay because you can actually have ranged units. A lot of Lords of Magic feel pretty uninspired, so it's like there's not a lot of replay. It's fun at first. I'm not going to pretend I didn't have fun with it. I did. But it gets old pretty quickly, and there's not a lot else to do. So that's like campaign stuff. Hi, Hazel. Online has been a travesty since day one. The maps are shit. The factions are kind of bad. They're not very fun. They're not very interactive to talk about. It's just, every fight ends up being blobs and single entities and chariots and, like, just dumb stuff. We had to ban Pendulum because it was broken. But then there's been a patch since then, and there's another patch coming out soon, 1.1. And that hasn't mentioned anything about Pendulum. Though CA themselves said Pendulum is broken. So it's like, wait, if you know this is broken, why aren't you fixing it? Because Pendulum's one of the few spells in the game that can clear out infantry. There's not a ton of them around right now. So it really sucks that it's too strong, leading to some annoying, like, Cathay boxes. Like, if Pendulum worked, the Cathay box wouldn't be nearly as deadly. And I've had a couple things that I've done to deal with people's boxes recently, but it's not great. And Final Trans got nerfed, so it does less damage to, like, blobs, so it's just like, you don't have a lot of spells. Having one of them be this broken is, like, abysmal. So I don't know. That's kind of depressing that they know there's a bug. And sure, they're working on a lot of things, but that doesn't... I'll get to that later, but, like, yes, I know they're fixing a lot of things, but it bothers me, some of the things they're not fixing. So, Warhammer 3 has been in development forever. We've been hearing hype videos about it since, like, early last year. Oh, shush. A little bit down. Anyway, we've been hearing hype videos about it since, like, early last year. So it's been in development forever. Tons of people had been testing it. You know, there had to have been tons of people testing it. And, like, I refuse to believe that they didn't get feedback on the state the game was in before they released it. And even Legend of Total War in one of his recent videos really ranted at CA about, like, why he's upset. And he was like, I've worked with them for years and years, and they've wasted my time, and yada yada. I'm sure if you know of my channel, you know of his channel, so you probably know what he said, and I don't need to go through it. But, like, it's just depressing to play. And that's why I haven't been streaming very much. And people have been messaging me, and they're like, when's your next stream? And I'm like, my real life got busy. And it did. You know, I have a lot of shit going on at work. I'm trying to get board game stuff to really go and pop off. And, you know, I've been busy. But another part of it is I haven't wanted to stream. Because what do I do? Like, real talk for a second. What do I do? I host a tournament nobody signs up for, or like a couple people sign up for. I hosted like a King of the Hill event. I had, at the start of Warhammer 3, I had 5 different events I had to cancel because nobody signed up. And it's like, okay, so I can host a depressingly small tournament for a prize pool, and I have to provide the prize pool, so it's like 10, 20 bucks or something for 6 people to play a game. Okay, that's cool. And then the content itself, I need to cover it, and people, I don't know why all of you came to this channel, but some people came to this channel because I was a pretty good player at the end of Warhammer 2. Was I the best? No, but I was pretty good. So they want to hear my thoughts on things. Well, the stream is 3.5 fucking hours long. What am I going to talk about? Like, really think about that for a second. What am I going to talk about? Another chariot blob's going through. Oh man, look at those chariot blobs go. Oh, Nurgle Mortis Engine blob is coming into the room. That's pretty exciting. Khorne's Chaos Warriors are going to push up to Tzeentch's Shield, Forsaken, and Spawn blob, and we're going to be here for a while. Nothing's going on. I have nothing to talk about. So streaming's a chore. It's a fucking chore. It sucks. I could stream me playing the game, and I could play against other people, but, like, I do the same thing. I just do the same thing all the time, and it's not very fun to talk about. It's not fun for people to watch me play it. It just sucks. And, like, I've been playing some campaign with some friends, but my friends are what makes that fun, not the campaign. And honestly, our last couple streams have been so laggy, which we don't have lag problems in any other game. They've been so laggy, it's hard to even cover those. I don't know. Anyway, why am I looking at a Steam chart thing while talking to you? Well, I wanted to mention that. So Warhammer 3 started off with 150,000 people, roughly. Great. It plummeted down to 13,000 in, like, a month. A little over a month. Warhammer 2 started off at 70,000, so less, and it never reached quite the heights of Warhammer 3 at all. But even up to the end, right here, February 2022, so right before Warhammer 3 released, we're at 36,000. So overall, we went down to half, less than half. Wait, a third? Am I seeing that right? 36,000? Yeah, like almost a third of the player base. And now it's roughly Warhammer 2 is getting about the same amount of people as Warhammer 3 right now. But if I go back to 2, the viewership sucks. If I go back to 3, if I play 3, the viewership right now kind of sucks. And my channel's just stuck. It's just stuck in a shitty spot. And I got distracted a little bit because I don't really know. This has been a thing like a lot of people are messaging me about, so I wanted to talk about it, but I don't have like an answer. So it's kind of a bit of a ramble, but I'll try to focus up here. So CA like knew there was this much wrong with this game. There's no way they didn't know all the bugs, all the problems, how janky everything felt, how bad the maps were, how slow the campaign was, how kind of like sloggy it was, how people couldn't play through it multiple times. And games come out this way all the time. I was seeing a post about it, and Warhammer 3 wasn't even on the list, but it was like Battlefield 2042 or something came out, and it was like crap, and all the player base went back to Battlefield 4. One of the Call of Duties came out and has like no one playing it now. It was on Reddit somewhere. But it's just games are over and over again releasing in these broken states, and then people leave and go do other things. But the problem is, for RTSs, you don't really... I'm worried you don't really get that time. I'm worried you don't get that grace period. Because, like, Warhammer 2 went up and down with some of the DLCs and then it tanked off. But Age of Empires 4, I pulled this up. Age of Empires 4 had a weird time in the sun where, like, Turin and everybody was playing it. You can see it did fine. But it tapers off, it tapers down, and now, like, I just thought about this the other day, and, like, no one I remember is still playing Age of Empires 4. Which is weird, but that's kind of how RTSs go. In the end, you have just kind of a hardcore group. Warhammer 2 had about 30,000 people. A hardcore group that are always kind of around, always going to be competitive, always going to play. You can see roughly you're bouncing around the 30,000 point their entire lifetime. And that's just how RTSs are. They have most RTSs like StarCraft, like Warcraft 3, things like that. Age of Empires 2, you have a smaller than most games player base that'll play the shit out of your game. Right? Whereas shooters, it feels a lot more come and go. Like flavor of the month. Oh, I'm going to play Fortnite, and then you move on. You're like, oh, I'm going to play Call of Duty Warzone. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to play what's the one that just... It's not Overwatch. It's the other one. I'm blanking on it because I'm trying to make a video. But, like, they have a bunch of character-based classes, and they run around and shoot stuff. And honestly, the number of games that describes is alarming in itself. So it's like, RTS games aren't like that. And I'm worried this number won't really come up if they fix it with bugs. I'm worried we'll have to wait till the next DLC. But when does Immortal Empires come out? No one knows. And they haven't told us. Like, they haven't given us anything to hold on to. They just say we have some basic-ass bug fixes. And it's like, patch 1.1, Warhammer 3. It's in April sometime. For you looking for details about the Immortal Empires, I'll note we won't be covering these subjects in great depth or detail today. Okay. So you know people want that, but like you're not going to talk about when that could possibly come out, which to me means it's going to be a while. And I made a video recently about how I think these 7 factions on their own aren't very interesting from a multiplayer standpoint. So we're not going to get more factions. Sure, we're going to get some bug fixes, but it's like... That's only one part of the problem. And what bothers me most about all this is that apparently they knew this was going to be a problem. Apparently they knew the game was in a broken state. Warhammer 2 was doing fine. And that's the part that bothers me, is if you look at its lifetime, it wasn't going down in player base. In some aspects, you could say it was going up. But in general, it was consistent. You had a consistent player base of people playing your game. You released, I think around here, was Torox the Brass Bulls DLC. And honestly, online was pretty fun. It was very fun, actually, in my opinion. One of the best metas we ever had. You could easily release a small patch to nerf Torox a little bit, just bring his cost up. I would say don't touch his stats, just bring his cost up. And what else? Maybe nerf Traderkin a little bit. And the meta was fine. It was fine. It was still a fun game. The problem was... A lot of players, like, I know, not to, like, name names, but, like, I was talking to Jay Phoenix a good amount, and Jay Phoenix didn't really feel like playing Warhammer 2 at the end because 3 was coming. It wasn't as much that they were sick of Warhammer 2, it was why learn anything when Warhammer 3 is around the corner? Like, why learn the meta, why learn the new builds? So you had players waiting for 3. You had players that could have been playing Warhammer 2 and having a fun time and joining the community, and... We had tournaments, like everything was ramping up. We had a lot of great games. And people were starting to fall off because Warhammer 3 was coming. So it's like, they took a game, and why I'm particularly frustrated is they took a game I loved. I played the shit out of. That I was very good at, in my own way. And I had an entire YouTube channel around that I've been working on for almost a year. And then they destroyed that game. And I get catapulted into this one that sucks ass. And now I can't go back. Like, it's just not viable. There's not enough people playing it. So now both suck. As opposed to delaying one, bothering some people, but keeping this game going. Maybe release, like, an apology patch. Like, pair them together. Like, say, hey, we're going to have to delay 3. We're sorry, but we want it to be a good experience for you people. On launch, we want it to be perfect. But to make up for that, here's a couple buffs and nerfs that'll make Warhammer 2, you know, fun for a little bit longer. And of course, I'm talking about the multiplayer scene. The campaign scene, of course, those people are like, I've played every campaign under the sun. I need a new campaign. Yeah, but this one wasn't ready. This wasn't the campaign you were looking for. This was a fire. This was a dumpster fire, and you got thrown straight into it. So it's like, I don't know. This was more of a video for the people messaging me and asking when's the next stream, when's the next stream, when I give them answers that are kind of like, I don't know. It's not that I don't know because my life is so hectic. It's that I don't know because I can't work up the will to fucking play. And if I do a half-ass stream, what's the point? There. Ramble over.